Yo, one of them days, man. One of them days. One of them days. Okay. Tank Davis is a hype job. Lamont Roach gave him the high guard and Tank couldn't penetrate it. Protested and demonstrated. Crying to Steve Willis, the Jericho juice got in his eye. Ain't cold bitching. Pound for pound, he needs to drop down to number 808. What you mean they weren't a knockdown? Lamont Roach, you know they robbed that boy. They're the PBC niggas need to stop that boy. Hey, they robbed that brother. They robbed Lamont, man. I think Lamont got robbed. Got robbed. Got robbed. We got robbed. I watched it. I watched the fight, man. And I was scoring it. There's a few swingers in there. There's a few swing rounds. But there's no way Tank took more than 3 rounds. There's no way he took more than 3 rounds. In my opinion. Right? From the opening bell, Lamont Roach was on the front foot. There wasn't a lot of scoring shots. You know what I mean? There weren't a lot of scoring shots, but any punches with intention was thrown by Lamont Roach. He was the puncher. Lamont Roach was the puncher in this fight. Make no mistake about that. Tank was trying to lure him into counter. It wasn't happening. Now, I made a pre-fight video about this, but I didn't get time to edit the video. I'm kind of PISSED off because I don't like wasting material. But I didn't get time to edit the video. But when I broke down the Josh Taylor fight, I noted that Josh hasn't had an 8-week camp to prepare for this. He's actually had over a year. Over a year. Because the fight date got pushed back a couple of times, and then Jack Catterall let Josh fight Ramirez for undisputed rather than taking his title shot. He stepped aside. And I noted down that, Jack's had a long time to prepare for one opponent. He must know everything about Josh Taylor and what to expect right now. And then you have to factor in Josh Taylor becoming the first British fighter to become a 4-belt undisputed champion. Scaling the heights, massive fight in America against Ramirez. And then having to return to the United Kingdom to defend against Jack Catterall. Will he be able to get out for it? And he didn't get out for it, and his career has never recovered since. And I believe, after Tank telling us he's got a couple more fights left, that he wants to retire, that he wants to get therapy, but he's scared in case he loses the fire. Well, it looks like the fire is dying now, so he might as well go take the therapy. It might assist him more than hinder him, is what he might find. I don't think he won the fight. At times there weren't a lot of scoring punches. It was a chess match. And Tank couldn't get Lamont Roach on to overextend and walk into his backhand. He couldn't get him to do it. there was a right hand, I believe, either in the round where the controversy happened or maybe the round before, where Tank's legs wobbled from the shot. He wobbled. And to me, by that stage, the fight was lost. The fight was lost. And this is why he's been avoiding coming out of the protection branch of the PBC. This is why he's been avoiding it. Because he doesn't have that confidence that his social media presence tries to put across. He doesn't have that confidence. And you could see in the fight, I don't know if it was panic. I don't know. He kept smiling. He kept smiling like he was doing something, and he was trying to outthink, outwit Lamont. But Lamont wasn't down for. Lamont had this steely determination on his face. This steely determination. And Tank didn't rock or hurt Lamont once with a shot from what I saw. I'm sure some of the punches hurt, but a lot of them came up short. He blocked a lot of the body shots on the body. A lot of the jabs came up short with Tank through. A lot of the headshots were blocked on the glove. And then after the controversy, which I'm going to address in a minute, you could see him throwing wild punches, although that was probably his best activity of the fight when he went wild after the controversy. Like, his own cornerman, it was either Calvin or Barry or Kenny. What's his surname again? Kenny. They said it looked like submission. That's what they told Tank. It looked like submission. And Steve Willis and the New York's Athletic State Commission should be investigated, because as far as I know, if you voluntarily take a knee, you get counted. Yeah, Hunter Ellis. Yeah, what's his name? Yeah, Kenny Ellis. That's right. Kenny Ellis. You get counted, yeah, if you voluntarily take a knee. And then he said that the hair chemicals got in his eye and tried to shut the crowd up when they were booing him. And what is that? I mean, that was corruption. And this is the guy saying he's not going to go over to Saudi Arabia because they're going to rob him of a decision. It's absolutely disgusting. But tonight, well, it's night where you guys are. It's bright morning now. What's the time? 7:50. Right? Tonight, was an important night for modern day boxing. As the shift of power has shifted away from across the pond, tonight was very important. Because last year, there was a few rebels, weren't there? There was Inoue from Japan, the Mexican, Canelo, and Tank Davis. Now, Inoue, he signed a deal with Turkey, and so was Canelo, and that leaves Tank. Now, Tank was trying to hold his own over there at the PBC. But I believe that's got exposed today. I believe it's got exposed. I don't want to like really slam Tank, because boxing's a difficult game. I don't want to slam him too much, right? But he himself said he's scared of being made a meme. How can you say you're scared of being made a meme? That's why he doesn't want to lose. Like, that's crazy. And that's carryover from this Mayweather blueprint. Now, a lot of people, they talk about the Mayweather blueprint being bad for American boxing, but the way they put their debate point across is that Mayweather is at fault when Mayweather was a supreme boxer. And he fought a better standard of opposition than Tank did. The problem is though there's only one Mayweather. Just like there's only one Mike Tyson, Joe Louis, or any great fighter. There's only one Terence Crawford. They all have different strengths, abilities, and legacies and attributes. Trying to be another Mayweather is a hiding to nothing. Is an absolute hiding to nothing. Because Mayweather wasn't created in the social media era, in the era where a lot of people are trying to do this money Mayweather blueprint. Mayweather was created in a different time period. Right? But with that blueprint shattered and the money team no longer an entity promoting fights, and the PBC, their last bankable commodity, like Errol Spence, like, my God, Errol Spence today is telling us the worst thing he could have done for his career was drinking. And of course it is. And I like Errol Spence. I like Errol Spence because even though he frustrated us giving us the Crawford fight late, he's honest about a lot of stuff. He knows he's hindered his career with his drink and extracurricular activity, flipping over his car. But he eventually took the fight with Terence Crawford, and he took his beating manfully. You know what I mean? Like, he could have quit. Errol could have quit at least 3 or 4 rounds before it was finally stopped. And after the fight, I was like, man, listen, if you take your beating in the boxing ring, manfully, you can only give someone respect. You can only give them respect. You can only give them respect. But Tank, no. And it has to shift the goalpost, what happened tonight, in a positive direction. It's got to shift the goalpost. Steve Willis is a disgrace. He said to Tank, you taking a knee like that looks like a knockdown. No, Steve, it doesn't look like a knockdown. It is a knockdown. And I'm trying to remember what he did at the Clarissa Shields fight. He made a couple of blunders there just the other month, and I covered that fight. When I come offline, I'm going to go and review my post-fight video, because I wasn't impressed with his work in that one either, where Clarissa fought Perkins for the heavyweight title, undisputed. We've got to give Lamont Roach credit, though. A lot of people thought, hey, he lost against Jamel Herring. Jamel Herring, this is what I'm saying, man. People write fighters off. Like, Jamel Herring is a tough man, come from the military. He's had some losses, but he can fight. He has ability. Yeah? And he lost that fight. But that fight was 5 years ago. Fighters can improve. I mean, Lamont also drew with Orlando Cruz, the rainbow rap boxer who was beaten by Salido. He drew with him. Who could ever see a boxer who drew with Orlando almost beating Tank Davis? But if you stay in the gym and you work hard at what you're doing, you can turn things around. And Lamont looked very good, looked very composed. But like I say, that fight date got pushed around and postponed a few times. And added to that, he's familiar with Tank. They live in the same area, Maryland. Like, I did a fight study on it. I wish I uploaded it because a lot of people, I think, across the pond and in Europe said, "Oh, I'm not going to cover this fight." But somebody who I know who's been following the channel for a while across the pond, they say, "But Beats, how come you haven't done a breakdown on this fight?" So you need to break this fight down objectively and put it out there for the people. And he knew what he was talking about because Lamont can fight. Like Barry Hunter said in one of the shoulder programs that Lamont can fight. The people in the industry know that Lamont can fight. And he proved he can fight. And he done an excellent job. Done an excellent job. He really did. I mean, when he lost to Herring, he hurt Herring pretty bad in the late rounds, but he couldn't get the finish. And when he what's the guy name? Is it Hector Garcia? I can't remember his name, who Tank beat just before he fought Ryan Garcia. He defeated him for the title. Although Tank stopped that guy, he took Lamont the distance. But Lamont floored him late in the fight and hurt him. And 10 stoppages in 25 plus fights might not seem a lot, but it's a decent percentage. And what I took away from doing my little study on Lamont, I said, even though he's got a low knockout percentage, it looks like he punches okay. But will it transfer up to lightweight? And let's get it clear. I thought Tank was going to stop this guy. But he didn't come close to even buzzing him from what I saw. But we'll have to hear what Lamont Roach has to say because he might do a post-fight interview and say, "Yo, Tank hits really hard." And unless you're in the ring, you can never really know. But he certainly didn't phase Lamont Roach at no stage. At no stage. Tank didn't look physically strong. Was having so much people in the corner a hindrance. Some people are saying that they were talking over each other, similar to Tyson Fury talking over Sugar Hill, bring confusion to the camp. And if that is true, it's not a good look. It's not a good look for Tank. But in saying that, he should have lost tonight. He should have lost that fight. And Lamont Roach, as much credit as he's going to get, and I'm glad for him. His next paychecks will substantially be bigger. I'm sure Tank will want a rematch. And Lamont should hold out for maximum dollar. Maximum dollar. And if they want to do it again, he should have no fear of facing Tank. No fear at all. No fear at all. After that performance. Tank kept smiling. He knew he was in the same situation he spoke about, that they're going to laugh at me. That's what you see. When you think back now, all you got to do is go by what people say. That's why I do receipts. You mean, listen to what people say, and you can deduct things easy. Yeah. When he had that smile on his face, you know what he was thinking? You know what Tank was thinking? Tank was thinking, "Oh man, they're going to make memes about me. I'm going to become the joke of social media." That was his biggest fear as a boxer. And that's what was taking place inside his head. Instead of him being the monster, he became a victim in there. And he's been speaking about retiring in 2 or 3 fights because he doesn't want to become a meme. And the potency is leaving his career. It's leaving his career. His next fight has to be a big fight. Either rematch this guy here, or you've got to take on one of them people who they've been asking you to fight. You know, one of the best things what happened as well is Lomachenko denying him that rematch. He tried to pick Lomachenko when he thought Loma was ripe for the picking. The cherry was ripe for the picking. And Loma said, no, when I was calling you out, you didn't want to fight. And Loma is a bitch for doing that. He is, but, Tank not getting it his own way right now. And now he's struggling with opponents he was a considerable favorite to beat. Now he's struggling. Like, what was that about? Like, what are you putting in your hair as a boxer? You're a boxer. You're not supposed to put hair chemicals, hair straightener chemicals in your hair. You're a boxer. All right, yeah, I mean, back in the day, you used to see Leonard and Hearns with a curly perm, but, when the chemicals burnt them in the eye, they just ate that. You know what I mean? They firmed it. You gonna firm that shit, bro. Yeah, Jerry curl juice. You know what I mean? Now you're cut loose from the Jerry curl juice. Oh dear. I don't know. Let's read some of your comments, man. And then I'll drop the link after I read some of your comments. I need to hear what the people think. Big up Kieran Malcolm. He says, is it true Tank got dropped and didn't get counted? Yes, it is true, Kieran. That is true. Arthur Daly. Watched that other channel go all damage limitation mode over his boyfriend. Treasure, big up. He says, yes, Tank took a knee. Referee started counting. That's right. He actually started counting and stopped counting. Because he was doing what he was supposed to do, according to the protocol and the rules, and then he abandoned the count. And he said, it looks like a knockdown. That's correct. I tell you what, yeah? I'm not going to lie, right? Turkey doing some foul shit over there. But here's the truth. Anyone who starts saying, oh, look at the Turks, look at Matchroom, everyone's filthy, right? PBC are filthy, Matchroom are filthy, Turkey's filthy, they're all flipping filthy. So no matter where you go, it's filth. You negotiate your deal for the best you can. You make sure you side with people who may have your back in situations like that so you can get maybe a favorable outcome than getting robbed and ganked. But like, his excuse for fighting Devin is ridiculous. You're both African Americans. There's no way Turkey is going to side over Devin, right? Turkey would love to have Tank over there because Tank has more star power. He has more potential star power than Devin. Ridiculous reason not to fight Devin. Turned out 20 million, apparently. So they say. Hakeem said, I was waiting for you to go live. I knew you would. Yeah, man, here I am. Man. Here I am. Big up Hacks. Charlie Parker. Remember a guy giving Tank credit for fantasy fights on the Riyadh stream last week? Hype Job. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Hype Job got exposed. Yeah. Big up Charlie. Yeah, that's true. Remember he came over here talking about British hype jobs? And we do have some hype jobs. Oh, yeah, we got some hype jobs over here. Yeah, we do. And there's not one Brit in the chat who would say, yeah, we got some hype jobs over here. We got some hype jobs. But if that's the case, Tank is a hype job if that's the case, isn't he? He's never fought a unified fight in his life. He's never unified a strap in his life. Yeah. Dirty boxing habits, beats. I just got up and watched the fight. What the F, man? I've never seen someone take a knee and not get a count. It was just corruption. That's what that was. It was corruption. That's what we saw there. So Tank, stay away from find out season. Yeah, exactly. Stay away from find out season, aka Saudi season. Yeah, because it's no joke, is it? Like, see, You know, he got beaten on what he thought was safe territory. That's the thing in it. When you stay on safe territory, man, you know, it will eventually bring the bitch out in you. That's all it's done. You know what I mean? You gotta live a bit on the wild side as a boxer. Case K, what's up? He says Tank got exposed. Yeah, he did. He did get exposed. He did. He did. Hakeem, big up Hacks. Case K, he said I had Roach winning. I had Roach winning too. Big up Case. I had Roach winning. I had him winning. Yeah, he said it was dirt. He said the Shaq fight never gonna happen. Shaq said unlike him, I'm not gonna start knocking him while he's down. But he said he'd like to make the fight. He'd like to make the fight. I don't know, Shakur. That's probably gonna scare him more than ever. And like how Shakur's not gonna be a sitting target for Tank. That fight's trouble for him, isn't it? I don't know. Those styles make fights. Perhaps Lamont hits harder than Shakur. Well, in saying that, he couldn't beat Jamel Herring. He hurt him late. Hey, Shakur put the beats on Jamel Herring. Serious beating. Fight Sport Talk. He says, "What's up, Beats? I'm here, bruh. I'm here. Pick yourself up." Rich Phoenix said, "If you keep fighting low-level opponents and handicap them, then your level will not surpass anything." Yeah, I never forget as a kid. What was the name of the sports teacher who told us that? You know, it was Mr. Ty, you know, in the third year. He tried to stop us. He didn't try and stop us because he was our PE teacher, and he used to train with a couple of semi-pro teams. He used to train them, and he was trying to discourage us from playing football in the playground because he says, "I've watched." Because sometimes, I mean, he'd watch us play football in the playground. He said, "I'll watch," and like he said amongst us in the football team, he didn't say it to the other kids because that would have been cruel. He says, "You're playing with kids who can't play football, and you're getting lazy. You're making you're doing stuff that you won't be able to do when you play teams like Drayton, all the top teams. Like it was them white kids up out of the hood. Hey, these white kids were bad, man. Can't remember the school, man. A weird school. They were bad, man. They could play some football, man. Yeah, and it's true when you play serious teams and you've been playing with kids who, you know, you can put salads on them, you can dominate them. It's no good for you. It really is no good for you. You know what I mean? Steel sharpens steel. What do they say? What sharpens what's the phrase? You guys tell me in the comment section. Yeah. And he's paying the price for that now. He's paying the price. Ivan said I had Roach winning 8-4. Yeah, 8-4 seems like a good score, Ivan. 8-4, and a couple of the rounds you're giving to Tank could have actually been even rounds. Yeah, 8-4 is a decent score. Yeah. Yeah. Hakeem beat spot on. Ishe Smith said the same thing about confidence after the fight, and he knew Tank from when he joined the PBC, so he knows him better than nearly everyone. Yeah, the confidence thing, if you lose that, the talent is basically redundant. Brent, he says PBC is a joke. Yeah, man. Case said Roach showed up. He wasn't intimidated like Frank Martin. He certainly wasn't. He certainly. Did you see his face at times when Shakur was smiling at him? He had that like his face looked like metal. He was just like, yeah. There was one stage he got hit with a shot, and he just looked at Shakur and just banged his chest. Yeah, let's go. And he just spoke back to him. He said, nah, bro, nah. And Shakur saw this. I mean, not Shakur. Tank. Tank saw that, and he knew. He knew that it's real. Today's real. Today is the real day of his career. Brent says Tank loses to Keyshawn and Shakur. Oh no, he doesn't, Brent, because he's not going to fight them, so he won't lose. He's not going to listen. After today, if he's been apprehensive about fighting them now, he's not going in the ring with them. Nowhere near. We'll never get them fights now. We'll never get them. He'll probably try and avenge this loss to Lamont, but that's his limit. Big up Toby. Toby Bartlett in the building. Big up Mr. Agbula. Said he was waiting on beats. Big yourself up, bro. Big yourself up. Bin Umar, he said, I watched the fight, and honestly, I was sipping some, I get that. I'm still sipping and didn't score it. But I'll say Lamont looked great, and Tank and Willis was giving each other soul brother handshakes on those calls. Yeah. And like Tank just complained and complained through the fight, didn't he? He just complained. Yeah, Steve Willis should be investigated for sure. That was the most corrupt thing I've seen in boxing for a while. It's worse than Wilder getting saved in the Luis Ortiz fight. It was corruption. It was blatant corruption. You know what I mean? I mean, even the officials should have pulled Steve Willis up. You know what I mean? Or scored it 10-8. Disgrace. Wizards. He says exactly why Tank fears Turkey. Zero interest in real money for real fights. Yes, indeed. Azzy, he says, he literally admitted to taking a knee to not get knocked out because his eyes were burning in the post-press conference. It's not a good look. Yeah. Ivan, he says, Tank doesn't box anything like Floyd. Floyd can actually box in the pocket. Yeah, like, what was his great strategy? To wait around for a counter that never came? Case said Mayweather fought killers in his prime. Tank didn't have a Diego Corrales level fighter on his resume. He certainly didn't. Corrales would have crushed him, man. Corrales would have battered him. Would have hurt him. Shane Mosley would have smashed Tank to pieces at 135. Smashed him up. Big up shoulder to both of them. Respect, bro. Ivan, do I think Tank was on fat camp? I'm not too sure. Maybe. Yeah, if you lose like a man, memes shouldn't bother you. I agree. Kieran says Errol Spence pissed me off. I feel like he could have gone another level had his career been taken seriously. Yeah. Shola, he said Spence is a stand-up guy. Yeah, big up Spence, man. Took his lumps that day. Took his lumps. Wizard sleeves, 2 Ferraris and a booster cushion. I mean, there's pathetic talk. You know, I want Ferraris. Grow up, man. Mr. Pads, morning beats, Tank in defense control. Damage control. Yes, indeed. King Chaos says Steve Willis should be suspended. Should definitely be investigated and find out what's going on. Bin Umar, he says they probably sparred a lot as youngins in DC and Baltimore are minutes away, and they probably grew up 45 minutes to an hour away from each other. Wow. Looks like only one man channeled, I mean, anything good from them sparring sessions, and that was Lamont. That was Lamont. My eyes are shutting down because I should be sleeping at this stage. I'm really tired. I'm really tired. But I'll read a few more out. Slevini, Tank, a meme, which was his greatest fear. Maybe now it's out of his system. He won't be scared to fight top names. Perhaps. Perhaps. Greasy my eye boxing talk is what some has called themselves. Case, he says, Tank knocked out a bunch of slow, flat-footed Hispanic fighters who come forward. It's difficult when someone moves and isn't right in front of you. Yeah, like Lamont's range control. And he stood right in front of Tank as well. To make it even worse, he stood right there. Mr. Pads beats, he had it 8-4 without a knockdown, yeah. Tank didn't win more than 4 rounds. I didn't score it like thing, but I started scoring it, but I mean, Tank just wasn't doing nothing. King Chaos says Tank was happy to get a draw. Yeah. Okay. Broken American says Tank the fraud Davis. Hey people, I'm so tired. I don't want to fall asleep on the screen. Yeah, that soul glow. Tank got the soul glow in his head. Vic G, how was Tank exposed? I'll tell you what, yeah? Here's the link and tell me how he wasn't exposed. There's the link there. Tell me how he wasn't exposed. MC Stroke Vision, he says, how poetic was it that Tank talked about Turkey robbing him only for the PBC to rob Roach? I heard they robbed Sandor Martin as well. I heard he got robbed. I haven't seen Gary Antoine Russell. King KO Tank should have 2 losses. He lost to Pitbull and Roach. Nah, he outboxed Pitbull. Daniel Cole, he said, I just watched and scored the fight. As I was watching, he thought Tank lost as well. King KO 8-4 Roach. Yeah, that seems like a fair scoreline to me. People, the old boy is getting tired. Town Business, big up. He said he soundly got beat by Roach. Yeah, he did. Like Roach, Roach came there like, I'm not having this, bro. I'm not here to get knocked out like the experts are saying. Roach came there with a purpose, man. And you see, like, to me, Roach is a guy, he was not going to duck the big fights. You know what I mean? He'll take them. Not going to duck the big fight. That's all a lot of boxing fans demand, is you don't swerve the big fights. You take them. If you take it L, you take it L. Yeah, look like corruption to me, man. If anyone wants to jump on, like I say, hit the link. I mean, although while you're talking, I'm probably going to get coffee to stay up a bit for a bit longer. Yeah, man, I was shocked by it all. I was I was listening to a few streams, and I was shocked by what I was hearing. But Gary Antoine Russell apparently did a good job, which I want to watch that. Apparently did a pretty good job. And then I was watching the card in Puerto Rico. Like Matthias opened a really bad injury up on his opponent in Venezuela, and like they were gonna let that guy die in there, man. That was a bad injury. Right. Big up Toro. Said Tank did more talking to the referee than punching. Steve Willis is a funny guy, but with all due respect, he's a cockeyed ref at the end of the day. And this is the result. Yeah. Black Tool, Tank got to knock the Roach out to beat him. Laughing out loud. Tone, at Marcos and that. Nah, the truth is, hardly anyone over here was truly convinced by Tank's talent. Yeah, that's the truth. People, they want to take the link. If not, I ain't falling asleep on the screen. Yeah, Diego versus Tank would be interesting. That'd be very interesting fight. Big up. Corey, he says, morning beats in the chat. Big yourself up. Tone, I thought it was another cherry for Tank. I haven't watched it yet. Was it a good fight overall? It was more intriguing than an exciting fight. It was more intriguing. Tank looked like he ran out of ideas a long time back in the fight, man. Vic G, have you ever got grease in your eyes? Vic, hit the link, man. Yeah, what up, Vic? Hit the link, son. I mean, there's a link. You tell me what it's like getting grease in your eyes. You know what I mean? I'm sure Sugar Ray Robinson was putting the conch in his head. You know what I mean? Sugar Ray Robinson and Ray Leonard. How come they didn't complain about conch? Bit of conch juice getting in your eye. You know what I'm saying? If you who came to put the grease in there? Yeah? I put grease in my hair. I put Dax grease in my hair. But it's not going to run in my eyes. Yeah? The grease I put in my hair is not going to run in my eyes. Oh dear. Jam down. He said he's happy for Lamont. His effort has guaranteed him at least 2 big paydays. The rematch in a fight against one of the top opponents that Turkey is avoiding. That Tank is avoiding. Yeah. Shame he didn't get the belt though. Man. Case said the Tank fanboy is in the building. Yeah, AG, you mean you are a fanboy, AG. Tell the truth, you're a fanboy. Right. Barely keep my eyes on people. Vic G. So you think that weak ass jab dropped Tank? Do you know the rules, Vic? Vic, hit the link. Vic, hit the link, Vic. Vic, hit the link. Hit the link. Vic, it'll teach you something about boxing. Vic, hit the link, me old son. I've asked you several times to hit the link. Right. Okay. Vic, check this out, Vic. Hopefully it will, let's see. If you voluntarily take a knee, the ref's not counting, that's a knockdown. All right, it didn't take that. If you voluntarily take a knee in boxing, is it a knockdown? Can you voluntarily take a knee? Yes, you can. You have to be careful because if you hit them when down, you can get a point deducted. It happened to me. Right. This is 2023. Taking a knee, does it count as a knockdown? Okay, well, here it's saying it doesn't count as a knockdown. Taking a knee doesn't count as a knockdown. Just fought against a hook spanning Ali. Is that knocked him down 3 times going into the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. He took a knee, which I lost the match unanimous decision. He knocked me down twice. And took 3 knees later on. What a joke of a game. No, this is a video game. It's a video game. It's a video game. It's a video game. Right. It's some undisputed boxing game. Right. Before you place any bets on knockdowns, though, you should be sure what the term includes. There are 4 ways in which a fighter can record a knockdown. This happens when a punch lands and a receiving boxer touches the canvas with any part of their body other than the feet, knee, glove. Hey, listen, Mayweather got counted without. Remember when Mayweather fought and his hand was hurting and he took the knee and he got counted? He got counted. Let's see what Lamont Roach said. Let me see if I can find Lamont Roach counted the rule book. Yo, Vic, hit the link, Vic. Hit the link, son. You don't want to hit the link, Vic, huh? You're not having it. If you voluntarily take a knee and the rest not counting, that's a knockdown, Roach said. And Vic, you are a pathetic grown man defending a fighter crying about hair grease getting in their eye. You are pathetic. You are pathetic. You should be embarrassed that you would support any fighter to that extent. You really should. But I've noticed you guys who support Tank. You're a bit lame. Well, I'm just not saying as your whole life, but boxing talk and boxing commentary, you're lames. Jazz Funky says Tank lost. President Bush, he says pause. Ari Gold says look at Vic's display pic. I can't see it fully from here. Well, what's he going on? Where you going there, Vic? That's Vic's business, I guess. A knee is a knee, says Ari Gold. Jam down by any by that logic. A boxer with his blood in his eyes should take the knee whenever they feel visually impaired. Victor Barter, big up. Yeah, Ari Goldie agrees. He says exactly, Jam. It's ridiculous. Virtuoso says, Vic, either jump on the pound and explain yourself or keep it moving. Nobody here tried to read your excuses. You know he's not going to hit the league. Vic is not hitting the league, man. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't impressive at all. LFF Tank got his ass whooped. Roach won that fight. Susan M. She says, how come the hair grease stuff doesn't happen in most women's fights? I'm asking for a friend. I tell you what, man, there was a girl today on, I think it was a Frank Warren card, a Turkish girl. She looked really good. No, it was on the Matchroom card, actually. The Turkish girl, she beat the hometown Irish lass. In one round, she gave her a beating, man. She gave her a beating. Yeah, he had experience of fighting Tank in the amateurs, and he just had Tank's number today. Yeah, maybe Tank would get him out of there early in the rematch, perhaps, but not today. Not today. Wow. Yeah, man. Time to take some real fights, Tank. You know what I mean? You're taking $80 from people's pockets to fight like that. Come on, man. For $80, you should be on some blood and guts. You know what I'm saying? Not impressed. The only person who is impressed is Vic. Vic is the only person who's impressed. Ain't it, Vic? All right, people. Peace out. I'm gonna have to get some rest. If someone came in, I would have probably woke up a bit, but you know what I mean. That's it, Tom. Elif Nur Turhan. And the KO was beautiful. Yeah, she put them left hands, man. She put them punches together, them left hooks. Wow. Virtuoso says people should stop paying out of pocket to watch Tank fight. His fight down to his competition. Ari Gold says $80 while we're getting amazing cards from Your Excellency for 20. I mean, it's crazy. Got people saying that this card is better than anything Turkey's put on. It wasn't a bad card, but $80? Come on, man. Yeah, Roach is a super featherweight. He's a super featherweight DLB, yeah. And Vic, he got hit with a jab before he went down as well. So, you know, whether they would call it a knockdown through a delayed reaction. Yeah, man. Fight sport. What's good?
Hey, Beats. Thanks for having me on again. I haven't watched the full fight from start to finish because I've been in and out of work, but I've seen enough clips, and especially the ones where Tank was missing left hands from the start, and so I know what happened in the fight. And man, aside from, I heard you were just talking about the knockdown, but what struck me from the very start of the fight, and I literally mean the first round, is Tank Davis looked hesitant in there. Like he was backing up and he looked nervous. And I don't know why, because regardless of how drained Ryan Garcia was, he was still explosive, he was still dangerous, and Tank did get buzzed in that fight, and he just had so much more life about him. Same thing with big guys he's fought in the past, like Mario Barrios, and I just couldn't believe it that he looked so hesitant and nervous, and this was before they landed any punches. So it's from the very start, Tank Davis looked. I don't want to start with any built-in excuse, but he just looked kind of scared in there, to be honest with you.
He didn't look like he had any real strategy, any confidence, any tactics. No, nothing really. You know what I mean? No, nothing at all. So I don't know where you go from here. Not looking good, Tank.
Well, I don't think he can go anywhere because I've heard his own fans saying that, yeah, he got away with one there. We need to do the rematch. And it's, I don't, but look at it like this. I've been saying this entire time on different panels that Tank Davis might beat all the other champions. Like this version of Lomachenko, I think there's a reason he didn't, that he pulled out of negotiations last year. And I've got questions about Shakur and Keyshawn Davis, but with all this talk of Tank saying, I may retire, etc., we all took it as him just trying to build up a fight that no one cared about. But he kind of looked like a guy who was interested in retiring. Like his power didn't really affect Roach when he did land it. Roach, I mean, he's a skilled fighter. He's not a cab driver, but I've seen some people say, this was a bad style matchup, and that's why Tank got frustrated, and that's why he stopped letting his hands go. I'm like, really? You think this was a bad matchup? Like, what? I mean, is this a sign that maybe he is interested in retiring because he just, again, he just looked bored as hell in there, and no plan B. So all that fight IQ stuff, then pound for pound nonsense, I'm going to say, just really got exposed tonight.
I think to a degree it was a bad style matchup. Like somebody told me to do a review of the fight, and I looked at his career more. He's actually a good fighter. He is actually a good fighter, Roach. So
Oh, he is. I'm not saying he's garbage. I'm just saying that people say bad style matchup. I'm like, worse than Keyshawn, worse than Shakur. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, you would. I wouldn't have thought he was better than Keyshawn or Shakur. I wouldn't have thought that. So, like, he would have been a big favorite going in to win this, and he did get exposed. Like Vic can say he didn't get exposed. He definitely got exposed. Nobody wanted this fight. So, like, if you take a fight like that and you're not getting it over in 7-8 rounds with a reputation like Tank, yeah, he did get exposed.
Couldn't agree more. And not only did he not get him out of there, did Tank Davis rock Lamont Roach once in the fight? Because I haven't seen it.
No, he didn't. Didn't come close. Didn't come close to shaking him with a punch. Didn't come close to it.
No.
He barely put any decent punches together for the whole fight. Barely.
It's ridiculous. And
he barely put any punches together.
And he was hittable. I mean, I've seen. Well, I'm not saying I've seen. We've all seen that Tank does have some defensive skills in there when he backs up. Like when somebody like Garcia is coming forward on him, and he's shown that he can be a sharp counterpuncher with that, especially with that left hand. But I mean, Roach didn't even look particularly fast in there, and I've seen him. Good fighter, but coming into this fight, I thought there's no he's not going to be fast enough to evade that left hand for 12 rounds. And again, I don't know what it was, but, style matchup, whatever. But, yeah, it's just, I don't think anybody looks at, I don't even think Tank's own fans look at this and say, yeah, he could challenge the best guys in the world. I mean, maybe he can, but it's a long shot for sure.
Hey, listen, man. I'm really falling asleep. I was so tired. Sorry about that. Apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we at? What was your last point?
Yeah, I would just leave it with that. Really, I haven't seen the Russell Rayo Valenzuela fight, and so I need to check it out. I felt that coming into the fight, Russell had the advantage, but I was slightly edging towards Valenzuela because he had rebounded from bad defeats in the past.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to check that. I want to check that fight out. Not surprised at all that Puello beat Martin, and Tellers washed J Rock because old man.
Oh,
So
Jay lost, yeah?
yeah, but it was to Tellers, a guy being built up, so a guy on the rise, and Cuban. So yeah, it was looked like a pretty good card, not a great one.
Did you
And
watch Paddy Donovan and Lee Croker?
I didn't, man, again because of it's Sunday here in New Zealand. So but yeah, I'm gonna go and look at the fights. Thanks for having me on, Beats, and hope to be on in the future. Take it easy.
No problem, man. No problem.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, IFF. I agree. Roach had the defense to stand in the pocket and put the beating to his ass. Yeah, you see, like I always try and be fair. You know what I mean? And like I said before, Roach had a lot to work on. A lot like the date of the fight got pushed back. He knows Calvin. He knows the circle. They're from the same area. I think they fought as amateurs and sparred and whatnot. And he took advantage of it. Took advantage. Whatever he could take advantage of, he took advantage of it. Ivan says Sandor Martin was robbed. Okay. And he says Shakur will box circles around Tank. Daniel says Tank struggles with fighters who are good at managing their distance. Yes. Yeah. IFF, he says 100%, bro. Yeah. Like the high guard from Lamont was really good. And early he wasn't giving away nothing. He basically did. And he didn't overextend and leave himself open like Ryan framed a silly combination for the first knockdown. He didn't do none of that. And he's tough as well. He's pretty tough. You know what I mean? He can put punches together. Hey, he might beat Tank even worse next time round. He might beat him even worse. IFF, he says, he reminds me of an old school fighter. Proper skills. Yeah. He did have them veteran old skills, actually, Lamont. I mean, he was good. Daniel, he says, they brought that referee in there just for the memes. He was only there for his goofy reactions because they thought he would knock out Roach. Steve Willis disgraced himself. I'll tell you that. Victor, he says, Victor Barter says you can tell that once Turkey comes out of his PVC protection safety net, once Tank, I should say, comes out of his PVC protection net, he'll come unstuck. Talented, yes, but their work ethics in there can't be helped. Indeed. What's that? 2-8 panels have Tank up by 2 rounds. Danny says if Lamont Roach works on that right hand counter and tries sitting on it at the right time, he stops Tank next time. All right.